Hey guys, Carlos here. Okay, this is a really short video in which I'm going to explain you the difference between the material object and the formal object of the sciences. Okay, normally in all of our topics we are going to work with keywords. These keywords are the words, concepts, ideas that give meaning to the whole discussion or to the whole topic. In this case, obviously the two keywords that we're going to have are the material object and the formal object of the sciences. Before we give a definition or an explanation of what logic is and what is its method and what is the way of working in this science and this philosophy branch that is called logic, it is kind of necessary that we see before and study before the material object and the formal object of the sciences, okay? No, I'm really sorry because I know that this wasn't the best decision, because I have always the reflection of the of the light. But okay, I can explain this material on the formal object with my bottle of water. Okay. Uh, One question. It contains water. Okay. One question. Uh, what is the shape of water? Okay, like Guillermo del Toro movie, but not in that sense. If you, for example, put water inside this bottle, the water is going to have the shape of the bottle of water. I mean, this one. For example, I have another one here. This one contains as well water, but we have a different shape, a different form. Okay. Now, what happens if you, I don't know, take out the water and put, I don't know, for example, soda or I don't know what kind of drinks do you have or used to have, but if you put soda here, the soda is going to have the shape of this bottle, this specific bottle. In the same way, or in this sense, one thing is the content and the other thing is the shape. So when we talk about the content of a science, we are talking about the material object, okay? And we can understand this content of the science with one question. That question would be, what is the object? And please note the emphasis with the what. What is the object? That is the question that obeys to the content of the science. In the other hand, we have the formal object, the shape of the water, the shape of the bottle. So in this sense, the formal object is the point of view. This point of view, I already saw that like on TikTok, I'm really chavorruco and I didn't know that this POV point of view, it was point of view, I'm really, really chavorruco. But the point of view is the perspective, is the method, is the way we are going to use in order to study the what, that is the content. The question that obeys to the formal object can be understood as how do we study the object, okay? So we have two questions, okay, that obeys to each one. To the material object, we have what is the object with the emphasis in the what, and for the formal object, we have how do we study the object with the emphasis of the how. What, material object, how, formal object. Now, for example, if we talk about a specific science, for example, let's talk about physics and chemistry, okay? We can say that some sciences share the same material object but have another or different formal object. For example, physics and chemistry. Physics and chemistry, both of them study the matter, okay? But for example, physics studies the matter, for example, in these mechanisms or of the behavior of the matter. For example, the three laws of Newton, that are the laws of the classic physics. And for the contrary, chemistry, that I mean, you have classes with Ruben, that is a great person. Uh, Chemistry studies matter as well, but chemistry studies the internal processes that form and compose the I'm going to say something that is kind of redundant, the composition of the matter. And some phenomena can be as well studied by two different sciences. In other words, some sciences can be studying the same thing, but obviously the perspective, imagine that the formal object is kind of not only a bottle of water, is as well, but as kind of glasses. So it's kind of, you see in some way or in somehow the content, okay, that is going to be different of the classes of another science. So for example, let's think about a really tough phenomena that happens quite a lot in our country, that are the enforced disappearances, you know. For example, when we talk about enforced disappearances, we can say that that is a phenomena, that is a content, and sociology, for example, is going to study these enforced disappearances through some kind of glasses. These kind of glasses are going to see, for example, the social behavior, some I don't know, some characteristics of how some groups of persons, sociologically speaking, do or act in some way, and uh, uh, can sadly do this kind of stuff that are then for disappearances. And in the other hand, imagine that we are talking about the economy. That, I mean, economy can study and for disappearances, but the perspective or the glasses of economy are not going to be what is the social behavior. For example, they don't. Economy wouldn't have that kind of formal object. Economy maybe would study the enforced disappearances with questions such as, for example, what correlation can we get from the victims in terms of money and in terms of profits, or how did they earn during their life, or what, I don't know, what kind of life quality does do the persons, sorry, people that sadly are disappeared have, you know. Even if we talk about of an specific sciences, for science, for example, medicine, medicine can have several subspecies, or several branches, you know, and all of those branches will have the same material object but different formal objects, each one of them. For example, we can say in general term that medicine studies the human body, okay? But medicine studies, for example, a neurologist is going to focus in the brain or some neurological connection that we have, or I don't know, etc. A cardiologist is going to study our heart, and etc. and etc. and etc. So basically, we have material object that is the content, and that we can identify the what. What is the object? What are we going to study? And in the other hand, we have the formal object that can be identified with the how. How do we, or how shall we study such or that object? In other words, that is a thing that can be explained with a simple bottle of water. The content is water, and the water is going to have the shape of the bottle that is containing it. If you have any question, my lovely students, please do not hesitate and contact me. Remember my mail. You already have it in the classroom and in some many places. And just take care. Hugs.